basically saying that she don't want to have anything to do with black men and or that she don't want anything. Let me rephrase that. That she don't want to have anything to do with men. And I guess most of her clients are black men, so people naturally assume that she's talking about black men as well too. So Volvo, I say this. Oh, Volvo, maybe Volvo gonna try it. I say this right here. If you feel that way, just don't post it. If you don't want to deal with men, if you don't want to have men as clients and stuff like that, just don't say anything. Just when the people come and try to get your services, let them know that you booked or you filled up, you occupied, you can't do anything, and just let it go. But when you're sitting up here on social media and you're posting that you don't want to deal with men and this and that or whatever, that's gonna be an issue. So. Um, we got to talk about the new hate crime report that came out the other day. As always, black people, as we already know, by far the most targeted group in this country. We're talking about Charleston White and his rant where he was talking about the Asians. Charleston White, I believe, also got pulled over because they were trying to say that he had kidnapped somebody or something as well too. So we're gonna touch up on that, and we're gonna touch up on the Silicon Valley Bank anti wokeness and stuff that's going along with that as well too. So we're gonna touch up on a number of things, y'all. Like I said, I'm glad to have it up. Right now, we got the fellas up in the space. Y'all go ahead and tweet the space out for me as well too. We're gonna give our people a few minutes to go ahead and rock. I see some of our people coming on YouTube. Y'all over there in YouTube, drop a comment. Go ahead and share the actual uh, YouTube live stream out as well too. Y'all make sure everybody come over in YouTube. Y'all go ahead and like this, share it on social media. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So just giving you guys a shout out, man. And I don't know what's going on with these Twitter spaces either, y'all. I don't know the connection issues and everything else. How people be in it. They're trying to come up and speak. They can't speak. Bovo was just trying to request to speak. Whenever he tried to request to speak, he's getting knocked back down. A listener, DJ, had the same issue. He could never come up to co-host yesterday. He could never really even speak. So I don't know what's going on with these issues. You guys say that y'all can hear me pretty well. The volume and everything is cool in the space. Let me know that if y'all can see it. Just give me another thumbs up. Because like I said, I'm not even sure how these spaces are operating at this point right now. I see my girl Rerod. She's up in the spot as well too. So let me give a shout out to Rerod as well too. So yeah, man, we got about 4 topics I want to touch up on tonight. I definitely want to get y'all input on something. On any of them that you want to speak on. Got to talk about the Charleston White thing. Got to talk about the hate crime. Rerod, did you see anything with the chick with this Nicole Lewis chick going on and stuff like that as well too? They're supposed to be the therapist and the back and forth, and they talking about that she doesn't want to have men as clients and stuff like that. And then people, I guess, naturally assume that it was black women. Wani, matter of fact, she sent me a little link to a site where it was actually like I guess they had her tweets up and they was talking about it. So I don't know what's going on with that as well too. It seems like you're getting a lot of these lately the past 2 months or so. You've had a couple black women that set up on these social media platforms sitting up here talking about they don't want to have black men basically as clients and stuff like that, or black men need therapy and this and that. And I wouldn't disagree. A lot of our people need therapy, but I'm sure you need it right along with the black men as well too. So Ray, I sent you a speaking host. I mean, I sent you to speak. I don't know if you want to co-host or not, but I sent you to speak. I know you've been moving and stuff like that as well too. So I'm not gonna. I know you kind of like back and forth. So you want to go ahead and speak? Come on up, and then I'll put you on. If you're good for the co-host, I can send you the co-host invite. If you don't want to do the co-host tonight, just go ahead and decline it because I know, like I said, I know you're in the middle of packing and moving and everything else too. So I sent you the co-host invite. If you want to co-host, that's cool. If not, I understand. What's going on, Rera? How you doing tonight, sister?
Hey, I'm good. How are you, Newstoter? Thank you for allowing me to speak and inviting me up to speak. I was just going to talk about the therapist.
Yeah, please talk about her. Yeah, talk like and enlighten me about what's going on because I just started really catching wind of this maybe a couple of days ago, but I've been in so much other stuff. I hadn't really had a chance, and like I said, I just been seeing all these crazy tweets and stuff. So what's going on with this lady here?
So I'm hearing probably the same thing that you're hearing. First, I think she said something about not wanting to have men as clients anymore. I don't think that she specified black men, but you know how that goes. With all of that, they don't say black men, but they insinuate it. So I don't know about exactly what she said because I think whatever she did it on TikTok. But yeah, she's getting a lot of backlash now. People are calling her jobs and yeah, it's looking pretty bad. So this is the third Black woman therapist to come out and say that she didn't want male customers, and I just think that they should be more, transparent with exactly what they're talking about, because Black men needing help in mental areas right now is a very kind of big deal. So for them to just kind of single out Black men, knowing that they're the ones who need it the most, is like kind of disingenuous. So yeah, but that's all I know.
Here's my thing too. Like I said, if you feel that way, then why even put it out there? You know it's going to be a backlash. So are you trying to gain more clients? Are you trying to get more notoriety? Are you trying to get a boost in sales or whatever? Like, what are you trying to do? Because surely if you put this kind of information out there and you say something, and you're right, she didn't, from what I heard, she didn't say specifically Black men, but I guess people are saying, well, most of her clients are Black. So they would assume naturally she's talking about Black men. But, if you feel that way about men in general and you don't want men, as clients, why even say anything? Why not just say, hey, when a man calls her, hey, I'm currently booked. I can't fit you in right now. We'll look and see whatever. Kind of just give an excuse or whatever if you don't want it. Now, if you go ahead and you say that, hey, I'm not gonna see men and this and that. I don't want to have pretty much anything to do with men. Then expect a blowback coming. So my thing is this right here. If you don't want men as clients, if you don't want men coming in there, just go ahead and say, hey. Don't say anything. Just say, hey, you know what? When that man calls you, whatever, like, yeah, currently we're all booked. Like, if you've ever had tried to get a new dentist or a new doctor, either they're taking new patients or they're not. Just say, hey, I'm not taking new patients, and let that be that. I'm not currently taking any patients. But you sit up here on social media and you go back and forth with people and stuff like that. Now it's a big thing. I know the other sister a couple months ago, she ended up losing her job. And, nobody wants to see anybody lose a job, but, you got to kind of be careful with some of the stuff you put out here on social media as well, too. So if it's deemed offensive, how people are nowadays, they're going to really try to go ahead and push back as well, too. So, yeah, not a good thing. I may try to find that tweet real quick that Wani sent me, and I want to read that real quick. Let me try to find this tweet real quick that Wani let me, yes, I saw. If you want to add info to the article, let me know. Let me see. Okay, Wani sent this to me earlier, and this actual is from Hype News, and it's actually got the actual, it says a therapist, Nicole Lewis, LCSW, LICSW, is unethical. She targeted Black men to offer her services to then discriminate against them based on race and gender. Now, keep in mind, this is coming from, like I said, this is coming from a secondary source. So, I really don't know much about it. Like I say, outside, this is actually just showing the tweets and stuff, and somebody put this on this website. It says, protect Black women also means protect us from Black men. Now, apparently this is a tweet that she had or something back on, this was back in March of last year, March 28, 2022. And it's got her name, Nicole Lewis, LCSW, LICSW, says protect Black women also means protect us from Black men. I'm scrolling down a little bit, and bear with me on these tweets right here, because this is now some of these are newer tweets I see coming up as well too. It says, this is from somebody says, your fave disabled hottie. Seeing how men act, I don't blame her at all. She has every right to feel this way because men always try to make women prove themselves. And this is what she said right here. I'm no longer accepting male clients. They get in my email inbox and want me to prove why they should choose me as a therapist. She comes back and says this. She says, it saddens me because I really love doing the work with Black men. Now, like, this is a newer tweet. Like the one before where she was talking about protecting from Black men, that was from last year. These past two tweets I read, these are current tweets. She says this one here, this is back on January 23rd, looks like. I have a community for Black women and Black non-binary persons, and so many Black men, white women, and bots try to get in. What is the reason? So let me read that one more time. She says, I have a community for Black women and Black non-binary persons. So she says she has a community for Black women and Black non-binary persons, and so many Black men, white women, and bots try to get in. What is the reason? This tweet was back in this was back in January. Looks like this was January the 2nd. 8:42 when she put that tweet out. This is another tweet. I'm no longer accepting. This is pretty much saying what she said before. I'm no longer accepting male clients. They get in my email inbox and want me to prove why they should choose me as a therapist. No scheduled consultations or nothing to see if we're a good fit. I'm not the one or the second to prove my worth to anyone. We would not work well together because you are already trying me. And not above going AWF on nobody. If you're trying me because of the therapeutic relationship starts, I know you out here being a menace to folks, and that's gonna activate my nervous system. So nah, it's a wrap. Really, I don't understand what the hell she's talking about there, but that was a tweet that she put out there. This is one that she had back in August 1st, 2022. I have a lot of new followers, so let me reintroduce myself. I'm Nicole, and I'm a therapist and a private practice coach. I'm pro-Black, super gay. I have a lot of mental health and physical health problems, and I mind the business that pays me. So this was Nicole, and then looks like she had another woman also co-signing something right here. This looks like it was another LCSW Kim Young, and I think she was trying to say something as well too. But yeah, it says Nicole Lewis was on a website specializing in therapy for Black men. It's predatory to target a group to offer therapy only to attack the same group while still offering therapy. Presently, she's on the website offering therapy exclusively to Black men. At some point, she decided to verbally abuse Black men. Then she shifted to therapy exclusively for women. If she decided not to accept male clients, there is no reason to make public statements against Black men or men in general. She could have simply refused to offer men therapy and quietly cared for women. Her publicized sexuality may predispose her to hate Black men. She's not a fit therapist in any case. This and other predatory therapists are a threat to men and people seeking therapy as a whole. She needs to publicly apologize to Black men and the public at large. Her license needs to be revoked along with any therapist supporting her. So again, this is not my words. This is coming from the actual tweets that they have on hype.news.com. So I just want to make that clear real quick. This is not coming from Newstoter. This is not the opinion of Newstoter. This is coming from a third party website. So I just want to go ahead and put that out there. Volvo, I'm gonna try to get you up here. Hopefully it'll let you come up here, bro. Every time Volvo comes up here, it knocks him down. So I don't know what's going on. Ray, I'll send you back as a speaker up here because it looks like you got knocked down too. I don't know what's going on with the speaker stuff in these spaces and the co-hosts and stuff in these spaces. I really don't know. It's been really, really messed up the past few weeks, y'all. But yeah, that was Nicole Lewis. That was a tweet that Wani actually sent me that. So shout out to Wani. She sent that. And as you can see on the very first tweet, she was talking about protecting Black women and protecting them from Black men. So all the stuff that people, because she had a lot of defenders, a lot of people saying, well, she didn't say anything about Black men. You guys are just so weak and you're caping for her and this and that or whatever. Well, based on that tweet that she had last year back in March, she was basically saying that Black women also need to be protected from Black men. So you can make the case however you want to make that. I see a lot of our folks are having some issues stand up in the space as well too. So I don't know what's going on, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing rolling though. Volvo asked me where's a Twitter update. Let me tell Volvo, check the Google store, check the Google store, check the App Store. I'm not sure. Check one of them and see what's up. Yeah, y'all. But yeah, it is what it is, y'all. So once again, thank you guys for coming. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna if anybody wants to say anything before I go ahead real quick and we start digging in on the hate crime. Charleston, we got Charleston White. Charleston White definitely be wilding out. He's getting a lot of flack from these Asians. There's a little Asian cat that he's going back and forth with. I don't know who the hell China Mac is, but apparently China Mac must be like some kind of rapper / comedian, and they going back and forth or whatever. Original, I sent you the request. I let you request. I'm telling you, everybody that's coming up here to speak get knocked down. Original, did you get knocked down when you tried to come up and speak as well too? what in the world is going on tonight? Like, damn, everybody coming up here getting knocked down. This is wild. This is wild, y'all. Original did request, but let me go ahead and try to go ahead and carry it on, y'all, until some of y'all can actually get on up here because I don't know what's up. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what's up with the Twitter space. DJ couldn't get on. None yesterday. Volvo couldn't get on. I see connection issues knocking people out of the spaces and stuff like that. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna get to the Charleston White. I'm gonna get to the hate crime, and I'm gonna get to the Silicon Valley banking. I don't know what you want to call this thing. Another banking fiasco in American history. I guess that's the best way you could put it. Shout out Trouble. I see you coming. I see you up here too. Trouble, I don't want you to speak, but see if you can request a speaker slot up here and it'll let you come up here because a couple of people tried it. I know you may be riding right now, but I just want to see if you can actually request a speaker spot and actually come on up. And now 400 was able to get up here with no problem. So, okay, let's see real quick, Trouble. Let's see if I can get you up here because everybody seems to be having an issue. Like, damn, it's okay. Trouble's up here. So, okay, at least Trouble and 400 were able to get up here with no issues. So, I don't know. Original had an issue getting up here. Aunt Lai, let's see if you can get up here too. Yeah, because okay, Aunt Lai, Trouble, 400. Y'all able to get up here with no issues. So, and Reroute, she was able to get up here as well too. So, maybe Original, I don't know. Maybe you may have to come out to space and check. Y'all make sure y'all before y'all come, make sure y'all check for y'all for your updates on your phones and stuff like that. Whether you got an iPhone or Android, that's the best thing I always try to do is tell people to go ahead and check for it. Professor was trying to come up here, but Professor got knocked down the listener too. So, what's going on, Trouble? How you doing?
Hey, Newstoter, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
That's what's up. I just wanted to say I was in Denise's space a little bit ago, and then somebody else's space earlier, and I noticed both of those hosts were having trouble either hearing in their own space or bringing people up, and so the co-host had to bring people up. So I don't know if it's us with our phones or maybe if it's just twittering right now.
I think it's Twitter. Cause it just DJ tried to do a space a couple times last night, y'all. We tried like 4 times, about 4 times, and we couldn't get nothing going last night. So I think it's Twitter, man. I just really think it's Twitter right now because we couldn't get. He could never hear me even though I was in the space. He tried to send me to co-host a speaker. Nothing last night. So it's just something going on with the app right now. So y'all bear with us. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing rolling. Let me go ahead and dig into the actual I guess I'll dig into, let me see, Charleston White. Whichever one comes up first, I'm gonna dig into. I'm not sure, y'all. Let me do Charleston White real quick because we know he's a character right here. Charleston White. This is from Hip Hop DX. It was curator Newstoter.com platform. I'm gonna put that in the jumbotron, but I think that's already in the jumbotron, y'all. Like I said, this is from Hip Hop DX. Hip Hop DX is one of our curation partners too. They do hip hop music, of course. They're not a black-owned source, but they've been a curation partner for us for a long time. They're a curation partner because even though they're not a black-owned source, they make their money from black entertainers and black artists. So Charleston White found himself in the FBI site. But first, before I read the article, y'all, before I read the article, I just want to touch up on this. Charleston White was going off. Him and this Chinese cat named China Mac, supposed to be some comedian, some rapper, been going back and forth or whatever. And Charleston White went on a tirade talking about Asians, talking about Chinese. He couldn't stand Chinese. He hated Chinese. And, I'm just going to sit right here and say, I'm not going to sit here and support some of the stuff he was saying because he was talking about he liked to see Chinese people get raped and shot and this and that or whatever. He was saying some stuff, man, that, you really should not be saying. I know some people say, well, some of the stuff they agree with, but he was going in. And apparently, the FBI was kind of investigating him because he was accused of kidnapping some Asian women and holding them hostage. So, yeah, this rant came from like a couple days ago. It's making his rounds on social media and YouTube where he was just going off on Asians and and saying he couldn't stand them, or basically Chinese, but Asians as well. He couldn't stand them. He didn't like them, this and that. So I'm going to touch up on a little bit, which could be found in this article. Charleston White found himself in the FBI sights this week after being accused of kidnapping Asian women and holding them hostage with guns and explosives. A video emerged on Monday, March 13, showing the internet personality and former gang leader being stopped by law enforcement outside of a convenience store in his native Texas. White could be seen led into the back of a police car by two officers before a group of men in smart casual attire, presumably FBI agents, appeared on the scene. After being let go, Charleston White detailed his brush with the law in a phone conversation with his friend that he recorded on Instagram Live while claiming the kidnapping allegations are false. I got picked up by the FBI. While the FBI were picking me up, they was at my mama's house. Somebody called the FBI with the picture when I bought that M50 2 weeks ago. They emailed that picture to the FBI today with me holding that M50 at the gun store, White explained. And they said I got Asian girls. Now, this is what the FBI said. They said I got Asian girls, held them hostage with Glocks, switches, and bombs. What they did was they was watching my live because they watch my live all the time. Just days earlier, Charleston White went on a racist rant against rapper China Mac and the Asian community on Instagram Live, during which he said he believes Chinese women should be raped brutally by big D-I-C-K, or just say big dick, well-hung black men, and Chinese babies should be killed and sodomized. A video of him showing off his aforementioned new gun contained more hateful words aimed at China Mac. I want to smoke, China Mac. Bitch, I'm the only one of the niggas that got one of these 50 cows, and I'm ready for whatever nigga he said. F is you talking about, China Mac. I'll go to war with you and your whole country, nigga. F Vietnam. In this phone call, Charleston White went on to explain that he was initially pulled over by Fort Worth police officers who informed him that the FBI wanted to question him. When FBI agents arrived, White admitted feeling a little unsettled. When the FBI got out there, 4 white guys that looked like them niggas that take them drug dealer niggas to jail, make them tell, they got out of the car and they wasn't smiling. He says, boy, they look mean as a mother. You know what? By the time they opened the door, they said, Mr. White, boy, that made me feel a little better because they were smiling now. And they had some papers in their hand, and they said, we got some reports that you got some hostages, some Asian girls being held hostage. I said, oh, man. And they said, you got some Glocks with some switches? He continued. I said, nah, do y'all want to go in the house and check the guns? They said, nah, we already been by there. I said, damn. So then they said, Asian girls being held hostage, Glocks and switches and bombs. They showed me the picture when I was at Cold Black Farm when I bought the 50 cal. He said, you bought this today and been threatening people? I said, no, I bought that 3 weeks ago. White then commended the police officer for treating him well while framing the FBI's interest in him as a badge of honor for himself and warning to his enemies, boy, the police sure are good to me, he added. They let me leave my gun in the car and lock the car door, and they didn't even put handcuffs on me. They put the AC on me. I had got cold back there, and they let the window down a little bit because I'm claustrophobic. He done all that. Boy, sure is good to know the FBI watching me. That sure gives me a level of protection and security. So I don't know why these guys would be getting on here threatening me, man, with the FBI watching me like this. They told me. As for the police, were able to track him down. White said he was told they were watching his Instagram Live. I said, how y'all know where I am? They said, Instagram, we're watching it. I said, oh, shit, I was on live. My bad. Yeah. Oh, Lord, this joker here loves attention right here, boy. Like, why would you get your ass on there saying this type of stuff? What do you think is going to happen, man? Like, seriously, like, first off, you can't sit up here and say the kind of stuff he was saying either, man. Like, I mean, say what you got. If you got beef with the Asian community, that's one thing. But to be sitting up here talking about you're going to rape and kids should be sodomized and all this other nonsense, man. Come on, man. Get your head up out your ass. Yeah, the feds watching you, Negro. You sitting up here with 50 cal. I mean, what are you talking about? You sitting up here talking all this nonsense and stuff like that. People look at that as agent talk too, man. When you start doing that kind of stuff, they look at that as agent talk. You sitting up here talking about how nice the feds treated you and everything else as well too. So yeah, you're going to get a lot of side eyes. If you got beef with the China Mac dude, then have beef with the China Mac, but don't be sitting up here talking about doing stuff that I mean, you can't sit up here and talk about children should be sodomized, man. And nobody's gonna sit up here and support that kind of talk. Straight up, that's crazy talk. That's ridiculous. You sitting up here talking about being well hung and raping Chinese women. Come on, man. I mean, you lucky right here. People looking a little bit side eyes at all this stuff that went on. The fact that you posting these guns, you saying this and you saying that online, and then you talking about and threatening, and then you got the feds coming in here talking about you got Asian chicks and whatnot. What in the world are we talking about? Shout out to you, Knight. I see you over there on YouTube as well too. So crazy talk. I'm not sure who had their hand up first. Black Native 400. I'll do ladies first and let you go, Black Native. But original, real quick. I'm sorry, bro. I tried to get you up here. Like I said, it's got to be something. It's something with the Twitter app as well too. DJ's over there on he's over there on YouTube. So I don't know if DJ was you still having problems as well. I don't know if you tried to get into space or not. So we'll definitely try to when you get a chance, try to come over here and see if you can get on tonight too. Because I know you were saying that you wasn't sure. Leon's up here so he can speak as well too. So Black Native, I'm gonna let you go. Then 400, I'm gonna let you go as well too. And Leon.
Hey, good evening, Newstoter.
What's up now?
Good evening, Trouble. Good evening to the room. Charleston White has always been an issue. I believe he's a troll. I also believe that he is an agent provocateur. First of all, the Asians, don't they have a hate crime bill? If I'm not mistaken. So for him to go on a Instagram live feed and say that he wants to promote rape of Asian women and sodomy of Asian children when they have a hate crime bill right now, it's agent behavior. Nobody would be that stupid. And he's not that stupid. He said a lot of different things throughout the years. The only thing I do agree with when he was going in on China Mac, he said that China Mac, he's tired of all these different people appropriating Black culture, and we don't do anything about it. That's the only thing I agree. He said that they won't hire Black, they'll set up shop, watch us when we come in the store, hurry up and buy, but they won't hire none of the people in the community, and they just take the wealth out the community. I agree with that, but all the other, raping women and all that kind of weird shit, and then you say it on Instagram Live, so you know that the feds is watching. I believe he's working with the feds. He said so many different problematic things. He spoke negative about the Hebrews when they went out there at the Barclays Center, and he was like, yeah, niggas is always going out there, but they never ready to do anything. But you said when the feds came to him, he was scared. And then when he said he saw their teeth, it warmed his heart. He felt more comfortable. Why would you feel comfortable when the feds is coming to your house for anything? So yeah, he's very suspect, and everybody needs to be watching this man with a side eye. He came out of nowhere. He's always saying some weird shit, stuff that makes you look at him like, what are you talking about? And it's always something negative about Black people too. He has a tendency of doing that. He also was going up against, what's the guy, Jay Prince, threatening Jay Prince and all this other shit. He's just a clown. He's a clown. And yeah, he's an eyesore for our community. I'm just going to say that. But yeah, I'm looking at him side-eye. I've been looking at him side-eye for the past 2 or 3 years since he's come out and just says all the things that he says. He's too old for that. He's one in his 40s.
Gotta be.
He has adult children. He has a son and he has a daughter. I remember seeing a video of him showing all the weapons he had inside his house, threatening Jay Prince. I'm like, really? And he does it live. But when he went to Chicago, I think he went to Chicago maybe about a month or 2 ago. He snuck in Chicago and he snuck out. But if he's supposed to be all what he says, everybody else ain't. Suckers is scary. Why would you sneak into Chicago and sneak out? So he's a troll. He's another, what's that, 6ix9ine? Tekashi 6ix9ine, but only his mouth. He says a lot of shit, and yeah, I'm looking at him side-eye. I don't take him seriously. I'll go ahead and land.
All right, thank you, Black Native. Yeah, the fact, like I said, you got the cops and you got the feds looking at you like that, and you making these kind of threats. No black man that has any kind of sanity is gonna get on there talking about babies, kids should be sodomized. I mean, no sane person, be it black or white or whatever you are, gonna sit up there, and they're gonna sit up here and also talk about raping these women and stuff on their live either. So, yeah, I just
And they got a hate crime bill. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. They have a hate crime bill. That's a hate crime. He's literally talking about harming Asians, and I'm surprised they didn't arrest him.
I'm surprised too. I'm surprised too. So let's see if this behavior continues with this dude as well too. Because like I said, that you can't really even put that into in the words what he said when you start talking about kids like that. Come on, man. I've never heard any grown person get on social media and say this about kids that the kids should be this and that or whatever. So I'm not. Yeah, nobody in here condones that. So I just want to make that be known right there. 400, how you doing tonight? Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, what's going on, family? What's going on, Newstoter? Yeah, Charles, he been doing that for a minute, man. He even said he doing it for money. He doing it like he goes into character. This came out of his own mouth, so he knows what he's doing. He's gonna do it next week. He's gonna do it next year. I mean, he every now and then he'll say something like the sister just said that's agreeable, but for the most part, this dude is, like you said, a professional troll. He does it for money. I don't know where he gets the money from. Don't really care, but that's all we do. Next week, he's going to go get somebody else. Next week, it's going to be somebody else. So, I mean, you can't really take him serious because he, like I said, he just does it. He reminds me of Kanye West, you know what I'm saying? So, you just can't take him serious. So I'll land right there. You can drop me down. I'm here to listen. I appreciate you.
Okay. I may keep you up there just for a second. If you want to drop down, go ahead and drop down. Because like I said, I don't know with the speakers and everybody having issues and stuff. Some of our speakers that try to get up all the time, they can't get up. So if you want to drop down 400, that's cool. I appreciate you coming in and speaking, but I can't really say how it's going to be tonight in terms of the actual speaking and stuff, guys, because like I said, I don't know, like Black Native didn't have an issue. Rerod didn't have an issue. Trouble hadn't had an issue. You didn't have an issue. 400, I mean, Leon, he hasn't had an issue up here. So it's just for whatever reason, original, he came up. He couldn't get up. Professor tried to get up. We couldn't get Professor up. So Volvo been trying for the past 2 days to get up, past 2-3 days, and he couldn't get up at all. So I don't exactly know what's up. Like I say, me and DJ tried to run a few spaces last night. He's trying to host them, and we couldn't get it up. So I don't know what's up. Let me see who's next. Leon, how you doing tonight? Go ahead and unmute your mic.
I'm doing all right, Newstoter. Guys, you got another good topic here. I'm just going to dive right in. Nicole Lewis, been watching. I saw the Twitter that she posted up about bashing black man, and I replied to. I said, "Oh, that sounds like some white feminist talking point." Saying that we just went through this not so long ago, about last year, with a lot of these sisters. No offense, sisters, in here, is not pertaining to you. It's just that these other sisters that's jelly belly and these white feminists want to be down with them, spreading these talk points, trying to pit us against the black man. Those are the ones I'm talking about. I'm not talking about all the sisters. So please don't bash me. I'm just going by what I've been seeing from this sister, how she's carrying herself. That's all. And I've been looking at some of her posts, and it's not even about just that. It's just that's just one. That's one of the main ones that everybody's really talking about. But she's kind of been kind of wonky in her delivery, and she's supposed to be a therapist, and she will never get my business, that's for sure. Not with that topic, because even whether it was true or not, or she feels some kind of way, because I know she tried to double back and say, "Oh no, y'all took it out of context, yada yada yada." But sometimes, you got to be like, like that saying, when they tell you who they are, believe them, So, that's just how I feel on that. Charleston White, be honest with you, I don't know who he is until this whole thing with the China Mac thing and his first, I guess at the YouTube, I guess that's the Instagram live when he was driving. That reckless talk he was talking then, I wasn't capping for. I actually spoke out against that. That it pissed me off. It almost made me kind of wonder: is he even a Black American? Because I know that some of these island diaspora, they talk reckless like that. That's why I was kind of wondering if he was even Black American, to be honest. But then I saw him came back, or I guess he was on a radio show, and then which was actually on Twitter. It was bounced around Twitter today. I saw that. Then he kind of toned down on the rhetoric of the killings and all that, and then he was making points like you alluded to earlier about these Asian guys ain't employing us, and they ain't employing us in their stores and stuff. They just taking our money, and when he was saying about selling stale food and expired food, which is true, because I've been to a lot of these stores and they do carry that stuff. It makes me wonder where's the code enforcement, in these cities, and why they letting them get away with selling these stuff. It ain't just them. There's a lot of them. The Arabs do it. The Indians do it. The Asians do it too. All three of them do it. Selling stale food and stuff in our community. You know what I'm saying? Stale, expired, whatever have you. And then they want to treat you like shit when they sell shit to us. So on that point, I kind of agree with him on that. From his video from today that I saw. The other one when he was driving, no. What's the hate crime report one? I'm kind of confused on that one. I might have missed that.
Okay, yeah, I haven't. They just came with some of the hate crime numbers for 2021, and I was going to share that with the room tonight, but I haven't actually touched up on it. That was going to be the next thing I talked about, but yeah.
Oh, that's all right. No, you can say that. No, you can say that because I probably will come back to speak on that. I don't want to, you don't have to, keep it to what we have right now. So I wanted to ask you something. I noticed that I wish Company was here because Company posted. I don't know if y'all people saw. Company posted another footage.
Yeah, I saw some of that.
Yeah, and here's my thing. I don't know if you saw my post. I was a little pissed because I saw two Black American kids recording. Now, like I said before, I understand if it was the cops around. But those two kids could have got off their damn cameras to the court. And now, I'm not saying they need to fight. They can't fight. But they at least could have broke it up. And it's not that hard to do to try to break it up. They at least could have did that. So, some of y'all youngins, well, pretty much all of us are adults in here. But word to the youngins, please. Get off the damn phone and stand up for your people. Nobody asking you to throw fists. Just break it up. You know that shit was wrong. And you were seeing it in full live view. Shit was wrong. Help the boy out. Whether you know him or don't know him. Because one day, you could have been in that position or can still be in that position one day. And you're going to wish somebody helped you. I'll land there.
All right. Professor, I know I sent you the co-host and you was trying to accept it. It's just something with Twitter at this point in time, man. I don't know what's going on. But it's just messing up. I know you're trying to, because original normally doesn't have issues like that. But I know that space we had Friday night, I think original he did end up getting kicked up out of that space. And, so it's just one of those things, man. I don't know exactly what's going on with Twitter, how it's running right now, but it's crazy how some people can be up in the space and not have issues while other people are just having just crazy issues and stuff like that. So it's not your fault. We got a bunch of people that's been in and out and stuff, and I think they're losing connection. And it's just a space at this point in time. So, Trouble, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, so shout out to the group. Shout out to the room. Much love to everybody tonight. Let me heard me talk before the bad boy kicked me up out of here. So, let's see. Well, I'll start where Leon had left off about. I know we're not talking about that tonight, but the video with the little boy. I think I grew up in the Midwest, and in the Midwest we didn't have a bunch of. I didn't grow up with a bunch of foreign blacks. I grew up with mostly just black, white. There were some Asians and Hispanics. So when we seen our black peers get into fights with others, it was a natural instinct for us to jump in and swing with them, or just break it up. I ain't even gonna lie, say break shit up. We jumping straight in off the bat. But I think from living up north in Boston around my people, there's a confliction, a confusion maybe, because I side-eye my family members because they grew up around black people from other nations and a whole bunch of it's a melting pot. And so because they're so used to being around all of these others, they have a different type of relationship with them where they all kind of still in that Pan-Africanism. We all love each other because we all the same kind of people sort of thing. And so they are more like, that's your business, type of way. And they're not necessarily quick to get involved with it like somebody like me from the Midwest would be. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but that's my take on it, because I fight with my own family members when I do talk to them anyhow about the whole foreign black and just immigrant situation. Our perspectives are totally different on it, and it's amazing that they complain about certain things, but they still don't see the need to move them out of pain. As far as Charleston White to me is very much an op. And I hate when a person says good things on one end, but then they're so problematic on the other end. Somebody told me a long time ago, you got to watch these people who will say stuff, do stuff like that because they're an op. Just call them an op and let that be that. Never mind the good shit that they say, because it's harmful. It's harmful to our people. And I feel like it's harmful to our people because we're already in a situation right now where we're combating all of these different groups saying that we're being hateful towards them. Then you have a Charleston White that's going out there and making their case for them, because it doesn't matter when it comes to Black Americans. Anytime one of us jumps out the box, they all assimilate everything with that one person with the rest of us. It becomes an all of y'all type of thing. It can't just be that one person doing something bad. All of us take the rap for it. And so that kind of makes it difficult to a certain degree for us and our people. So it's like Charleston White knows what he's doing. He's a troll, and I believe he's being paid allegedly by the feds. I believe they got him on his ticker. Otherwise, he would have been moved out of the paint, because he gets on a live video showing guns, talking about he's gonna murder somebody, and he not be sitting in jail right now. He not be still offline, sitting somewhere with the feds right now. That just doesn't happen. So it's sort of like the William O'Neill that we was talking about in the space. And I think Brother Original brought that point up. When you have people that come inside a crowd and say, hey, I got some bombs, let's go and bomb these people. And where do we as Black people get bombs for? So we should automatically suspect that person to be an op. Whether you are op or not, time will tell, but we shouldn't take that chance. Charleston White got to get ran up out the paint because he's very much problematic. You're coming out, you're saying things against people, and they're looking at all of us. It makes their case for them. And so he's when I first seen the video, I didn't even see the video. I seen the comments. And so when I seen that he was going up against the China Mac dude, so I had made a comment about, how China Mac gonna say, he was coming for him. I was like, that sounds like a threat to me. So after I made my comment, I went ahead and clicked play on the video. So when I heard him saying, oh, well, we should feed your kids to alligators and we should do this and we should do that, I was like, oh, let me delete my comment, because I don't want to look like I'm defending this fool, because that's just a bridge too far from me. Talking about raping women and murdering people and killing kids and stuff, I can't defend that. China Mac needs to be taken to task, but Charleston White isn't the one to do it. Somebody else needs to come and do it. I don't know if I just call both them fools the same name. But it's a whole problem. Nicole Lewis, she seemed like an op to me too, because we all know what happened to the now, basically trying to pull the same thing. I think you want to get the attention and because you know that people like to come up against black people. And I don't think she said black men in particular. I think she just said men. But why even put that statement out there when you know how it's going to be taken? And so then she ran back to Twitter with the same type of rhetoric that the other therapist did. I really feel like she's doing it for the attention. She knew the backlash she was going to get, and she purposely did that. That's my opinion, and I'll land on that.
All right, thank you, Trouble. Yeah, and she had an old tweet that Wani them showed me that she was saying back in 2022 that black women needed protection and they needed protection from black men. So she had an old tweet that surfaced as well too, just to put that out there as well too. So yeah, you're right. She's like that other woman was, and she's trying to get that attention. I'm trying to prove you right now, but it's kind of jammed up, so I'm gonna try to come back to you. But yeah, she had this old tweet back in 2022 talking about that black women need to be protected from black men, and she also had the other tweet that they showed from the other day. She was saying that her clients were black women and non-binary people, but you had so many black men and whites trying to become clients basically as well too. So she kind of was saying she was saying some slick stuff still, nonetheless. Even though I know some of that stuff might be older, she was still saying some slick stuff. I'm trying to prove you right now. I'm gonna come back, but I keep clicking on it and I can't get you up there. So I'm gonna come back to you. Black Native, go ahead and unmute your mic. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna touch up on this hate crime report and the Silicon Valley banking crisis as well going on too. They've been bailed out once again by corporate America and taxpayer dollars as always. So Black Native, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, thank you. Nicole Lewis, I thought her and the other, it was another woman that made a video, I think it was like last year sometime, saying the same trash. So these are two different women. Because Nicole made another video. I think she's a more heavy set because I thought it was the same person. I just saw a tweet. I saw she was getting dragged on Twitter from black men because she did have a tweet that said black women need to be protected from black men. So you're saying that's from 2022?
Yes.
So she made a video. Yeah. She made a video. I saw the video. I think I saw it yesterday, and she was trying to go into detail saying that her clients she prefers black women because we have issues that that's what she specified in. She was like, when you go to school, you can pick a specific something that you want to specialize in, and it was black women. So she was trying, I guess, make excuses or try to justify the tweets that what she said about black men. She was trying to justify that through her video, and she pretty much doubled down on it. She said, "Hey, I don't want you as my clients. My clients are black women, and I don't care what you think." That's what the video said from what I saw. But I do recall it was another woman who said the same thing, and I was thinking they were the same people. Maybe she had just gained some weight, so they're two separate black women who are psychiatrists or are they doctors?
They're therapists, to my knowledge. They're therapists, yeah. Because like I said, I just heard about this a couple of days ago myself.
That's problematic. And I just wanted to touch on the issue that happened in New York City because I'm from New York City and I have grew up around different cultures, Jamaicans, Haitians, Africans, Hispanics, Italians, Russians, the whole gamut. I recall when we were going to battle and we were fighting with the Jamaicans. It wasn't no issue as far as we didn't know who they were and they didn't know who we were. It was the Black Americans against the Jamaicans. And we was going to war with them. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't have it wasn't no ifs, ands, or but. We knew who was and what the task was to whip their ass if they got out of line. And they did get out of line and we was going to war with them. So I could understand maybe those two kids that was filming on the train station, they probably weren't even Black American. They probably could be Dominican because, Dominicans are Black people too, even though they be like, me no Black. But they're Black people. And then you got the light Dominicans. So they could have been Hispanics. We don't know. But what we do know is that all of those people, since the company has all these different angles, those kids should be charged as adults, because at 16 in New York, you're considered adult when they do it to black kids. So, yeah, let's see if they're going to catch these kids, because they're all on camera, and if some charges are going to be, if they're going to get charges pressed against them, because I called the mayor's office, and the phone, something was going on with the phone. Then I called the school. Nobody picked up. This was earlier today. I was in a room, and they had all the numbers where you call to, see what's going to happen with these kids, because this boy had autism. So, they jumped this boy. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. He was trying to get away from him, and they just pursued him. And I could swore that it was some cops standing all the way at the other end of the platform, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look at the second video again, because I'm thinking I saw some police, and they will stand there, because it's happened to me. They will stand there and watch black people get abused. They will stand there. They won't come and do anything. They'll stand there and watch it. So I'm not surprised if I think I saw some cops at the end of that platform on that train. So I just want to land on that for now.
Okay, thank you, Black Native. Ray, are you able to stay in the co-hosting thing, or you constantly coming up out of there? You losing the co-hosting spot? See a Ray there, because I know he's been moving back around. Ray might be. I know he's moving, so he may be preoccupied. All right, Ray, I'll come back to you in a second. Let me go ahead and touch up, y'all, on this hate crime, and I want to touch up on the Silicon Valley banking thing as well, too. And once again, once we touch up on them, you're free to go ahead. I'm going to hit the hate crime definitely right now, and we'll get to the Silicon Valley one as well, too. But we're just trying to touch up on as many topics so you guys can go ahead and flow right back to whichever ones you want to talk about as well, too. Welcome everybody that's coming up in the space as well, too, y'all. We've been having some technical issues. Some of our speakers have been able to come up, and some of them haven't. So if you guys request a mic, I can't tell you whether you'll be able to come up here or not. It just depends. We've had a number of people that could come up here, and we've had a number of people that couldn't come up here. So thank you guys for coming up in the space. Anyways, please go ahead and tweet the space out and mention. And when we think about this kid, that the things that went on in New York, that's a hate crime. We're going to go ahead and delve into the actual hate crime report back from 2021. They got all the data collected. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at that real quick. I'm going to touch up on that real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. One second while I find that. This is from Black Enterprise, curator of the Newstoter.com platform. It says hate crimes in the U.S. surged 11.6% in 2021, fueled by racial ethnic bias. And I'm reading this straight off of the site, so I'm getting some pop-ups and stuff like that, so bear with me. Hate crimes in the United States surged 11.6% in 2021 with the largest. Give me 1 second, because we got, like I say, pop-ups and stuff coming. That's why I'd rather just print up the articles. I didn't print it up today. So hate crimes in the United States surged 11.6% in 2021 with the largest number motivated by bias against black people. No surprise there. Followed by crimes targeting victims for ethnicity, sexuality, and religion, the FBI said in a report released on Monday. The FBI said reported hate crime incidents rose to 9,065 in 2021 from 8,120 in 2020. The Bureau says 64.5% of hate crime victims in 2021 were targeted because of their race, ethnicity, or ancestry bias, while 15.9% were targeted because of sexual orientation and 14.1% due to religion. The largest number, some 2,233 incidents, were motivated by anti-African American bias, the report found. Once again, no surprise there, because black people are always targeted more than any other group significantly. Of the racial-based hate crimes in 2021 cited in the report, a little more than half targeted Jewish people. Some 948 of the reported crimes were motivated by anti-white bias, while there were 543 incidents targeting gay males and another 415 incidents involving members of the broader LGBTQ community. Bias against Hispanics totaled 433 incidents, while the FBI reported 305 incidents targeting Asians. Attorney General Merrick Garland has made enforcement against hate crimes a top priority for the Justice Department. In 2021, he expanded funding and other resources to states and to the help track and investigate hate crimes and order prosecutors to step up both criminal and criminal and civil investigations into such incidents. I'm sorry, because this thing keeps moving with the pop-ups. We'll continue to work with the state and local law enforcement agencies across the country to increase the reporting of hate crime statistics to the FBI, said the Associate Attorney General. The number 3 official at the department, Vanita Caputa. Hate crimes and the devastation they cause communities have no place in this country. The Justice Department is committed to every tool and resource at our disposal to combat bias-motivated violence. The FBI's new analysis marks the first time the Bureau has been able to confidently report national hate crime trends since it transitioned to a new data collection system. Unified crime data released by the FBI in October 2022 contained gaps, with only 52% of the U.S. law enforcement agencies reporting a full 12 months of 2021 information. For a supplemental report, FBI officials said they were able to include crime data from some of the country's largest cities that had not yet made the switch to the new reporting format. The nation's 2 largest cities, New York and LA, are now included in the hate crime analysis reported on Monday, while Chicago was able to provide 2 quarters worth of data for the report. FBI officials say they typically track the 130 most populous cities across 16 states to identify statistically significant trends. Of those, 96 cities were able to provide data for the new report. Jonathan Greenblatt, chief executive of the Anti-Defamation League, said the report confirms that hate crimes reached record high levels in 2021. The group, which collects its own criminal and non-criminal data on acts of hate against Jewish people, counted a total of 2,717 anti-Semitic incidents in 2021, the highest figure since the ADL began tracking such data in 1979. With anti-Semitic incidents up across the board in nearly every category we track, said Greenblatt, a whole of society approach will be needed to address this extremely disturbing trends. So, once again, and as bad as it was for everybody across the board, and once again, we see that Black folks lead the way in terms of the actual crimes committed against them, and not much has been done. Not much is going to change. They said that there's gaps in the actual data. I believe that, and I believe those numbers for Black people actually having hate crimes committed against them are much, much higher than was actually being reported as well, too. I think that's kind of a lowball estimate, because I know that they're using trends to track things, so they really still missing out on a lot of data that really could be collected. But in my personal opinion, I believe it's much, much higher than what's actually being reported as well, too. So no surprise there. I know everybody was saying that back in 2020 and 2021, they were talking about the actual rising of hatred in COVID with the Asian Americans, what they were suffering. But like I say, you can add up most of these numbers all together, and you can add 2-3 groups up together, and it still doesn't equal what Black Americans have been experiencing in this country. They are the leaders of the anti-hate movement. I mean, no other group continually gets as much hate against them as Black Americans. So I feel bad for all other groups. I don't support discrimination against somebody because of their race, creed, color, sexual preference, or whatever. But at the same time, we got to stop sitting up here and making the numbers seem like it's all comparable when it's really not. In terms of the actual data, and it's proven year after year that Black folks are the most, in terms of the hate bill, in terms of hate type incidents occurring, they're the ones who actually bear the brunt of it more than any other group in this country, and by a wide margin. So I would like to see some kind of legislation put in place for that. I'm not holding my breath because nobody's making a big issue of it in terms of Black politicians. Nobody's saying something. We just witnessed a hate crime that would fit 2 categories with this autistic child that happened in New York. You have a disabled Black child that was assaulted in a public setting. Okay, he's Black and he's disabled. So that would be almost having 2 hate crimes. And because I'm sure if you attack somebody that's disabled and you're attacking them, that's also considered a hate crime too. Now I know people will say, well, they attacked the person simply because they were disabled. I can't prove that. What we can prove though is that they were throwing all kind of racial epithets and hurling racial slurs at this child while they was attacking him. So there's your hate crime right there. And like Black Native said, it's gonna be interesting to see if they're gonna charge these kids. Picture plastered all over social media, picture plastered all over the news now. The news got it. Shout out the company. It's gonna be interesting to see if these kids here with the little ringleader, the girl, I'm sure they'll go ahead and hide behind her gender as well too, and they won't hit her with what they could hit her with. They'll hide behind her sex and stuff, and she won't get hit what she won't. But she was a damn ringleader, yanking this kid by the neck, dragging him along like he was a dog on a collar. Let's see exactly how they go about punishing this girl right here. Leon, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Thank you. I just wanted to add something to that you mentioned it. Today, shout outs to one of the people I follow, DW. They had this one Hispanic lady was trying to was putting together a little rally for supposed to be for people of color, anti-racism and all this bull crap. Today, now where it was held at, I'm not sure if it was the same location where that young brother. I think it is, but I'm not 100% sure. I did want to let you know that. I just thought that was kind of odd that the quick turnaround from this lady. It's supposed to be like a nonprofit, but I'm sure that the city probably has something to do with it, just to try to keep on hush hush. You know, so they were trying to do a little kumbaya, people of color, black and brown coalition gathering today. I don't know what that happened, so if anybody got any info, please share. I'll land there.
All right. Thank you, Leon. And anybody else who that wants to speak as well, too, go.
I think it was supposed to be in New York today.
Okay. And anybody else that wants to speak as well, too, y'all go ahead and raise your hand. Come on up here, because we covered Nicole Lewis. That's the black woman that's been on Twitter, and there's been a lot of back and forth about her being a therapist and basically saying that she doesn't want to have anything to do in terms of doing any kind of, I guess, practicing any kind of medicine for men. So that's been going back and forth. And then we're talking about we talked about Charleston White and the absolutely craziness that he was involved in. And, he just got pulled by the FBI and the cops, and he was saying all kind of stuff online, stuff that we don't condone, sitting up here talking about raping this person and sodomizing kids and stuff like that. And then it's going to be interesting to see exactly with Charleston White as well too. How is this going to hurt his actual his actual following online and stuff as well too? Because some of the stuff he was saying, most people they hear somebody saying that, they don't ride with that straight up. And the fact that old boy was saying this back and forth, saying that, I definitely want to hear exactly if he's going to start losing followers and this and that or whatever. Because if his following stays just as strong as it is, you seriously got to question what's going on here. You seriously got to question exactly, okay, who is really propping my old boy up right here? Because that's kind of stuff that doesn't sit well with most folks, to sit up here and say that. It's one thing to think it. It's another thing to publicly say it and constantly keep saying it. Nobody wants to hear about you talking about committing violence to babies, man. Straight up. I mean, nobody wants to hear you talking about sodomizing goddamn babies. Excuse my language. So I definitely want to see exactly how that's going to roll, how that's going to go. My man sitting up here on Instagram Live with automatic weapons and everything else up here, and he's sitting up here making threats and whatever. Man, you can't. I mean, damn well the Feds looking at this kind of stuff right here. The Feds and ATF and everybody else looking at this kind of stuff right here. So, no, I'm just, I'm a little bit skeptical of all this and that. So, and of course, I just gave you the statistics for the hate crime. At the very end, the ADL, they went ahead and they said that the statistics affecting Jewish people and stuff like that as well too. But once again, black people, as always, since they've been collecting this data about hate crimes and stuff, have always been the ones that have had the most hate crimes committed against them. And that's not to downplay anything that anybody else is experiencing or went through or continues to suffer from. Like I say, I don't stand up here and I'm not going to support people attacking anybody because of their race, their religion, their creed, their sexuality, or whatever, just to attack somebody. But at the same time, we have to go ahead and look at stuff, because The first thing you hear what come out of black politician mouth is this and that or whatever, everybody, but it's not everybody, man. Your people are getting the worst of it. They're getting the brunt of it, and they've always got the brunt of it. They're the damn reason that you had a damn hate crime. When you had James Byrd get dragged by the damn car. He got dragged by the car, but it wasn't until actually when Matthew Shepard went ahead and they killed his kid and he was gay that you really start to get the actual legislation really rolling and stuff like that. So generally, it's never enough for a black person to suffer something for you to normally get actual legislation. It has to be a black person, and then somebody else has to go through it as well too, and then we can go ahead and do something. So, and that's not to make light of Matthew Shepard's death as well too, but you should have been had damn hate crimes. And black people still, in my personal opinion, should still be a protected class of people in this country. That's not going to happen anytime soon because you have no political people that's going to support it. And if they do, they got to sit up here and say it's for everybody. So that's my personal opinion. I'm going to go ahead and Trouble, I'm going to get to you. Let me go ahead and get to Dana real quick. I see she's new up here. I don't want to lose her. So Dana, how you doing tonight?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a quick point because I got to run in the store if I could.
Okay, go ahead real quick.
I just wanted to make a point when you were saying about the numbers and it not being, it seeming like it was a lowball. It's a lowball number because not all police departments report their numbers, and they only need a certain amount in order to generate a report. That's why either they didn't have a report for 2022 or they're just now curating one for 2022. It's because they they needed to have, I think, at least 60% of departments report in. And if they don't have a certain amount of number of police departments across the country report in, they can't curate that report. So those numbers are always going to be low. They're never really going to be what they're actually, what they actually should be, because all police departments they're not required to. They just, sort of ask them nicely if they would report their numbers. And we all know that even when they do report, they're still not reporting the actual truth of what's going on. So I just wanted to make that point.
All right, I appreciate that, Trouble, and yeah, I'm in agreement with you. Like, I mean, and the whole, and there's a lot of crime that really doesn't get reported in this country as well too. But definitely when certain things like that, they're underreporting it. So I'm in complete agreement with you, Dana. How you doing tonight?
Hey, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
Good. How are you? How's everybody? Yeah. So I was in and out. I was in and out because I was trying to.
I saw you with your other profile. Like, yeah, everybody was. I saw it.
Yeah. So because me and the judge, we're actually doing a later Twitter space tonight, and I'm not home, so I had to see if I could record it on my other phone. So that's why I was in and out. But I saw that. I don't know what the Nicole Lewis story was, but I wanted to comment on the Charleston White. I don't like him because I never liked him. He just looks dirty, like he doesn't brush his teeth and wash every day. He just has that dirty look. So I didn't like him just off of his appearance. And then he was just talking too much goofy, silly stuff. And apparently, people were saying, well, he does a lot in his community with the youth. And honestly, as a parent, I wouldn't want him talking to my child. But maybe he has done something locally, but he's very messy. And I caught what he said about Mav Hoffa children. And Mav Hoffa did a live. And then Charleston White also dissed the tri-state area, like New York. And I'm not from New York, I'm from New Jersey, but it's still part of tri-state. And we can't have outsiders like that trying to, shit on us over here. And I heard he did have a show in New York and that was canceled. So, and rightfully so. He's just too messy. Somebody behind the scenes was like, well, he says a lot of stuff because it's like the character he's playing. But, in real life, he's real serious. But I don't care because you have thousands and a million views, on your YouTube channel. You go on other people's platform, you bringing them views talking about pure nigga shit, so it's not productive. 1 minute you want to talk about what the black people need to do to progress, and then the next minute you talking about F New York after people that died in 9/11. I'm with the West Side, and then quoting that Suge Knight quote, come to death row, some stupidness. And you talking about this man kids, and that's not the first time. There were a video circulating a while back where he was saying that it's okay for a woman to be assaulted, but it's really the R word, something to that effect. So he's just messy, and I don't understand why Black people listen to him and support him. I think that's a problem. So yeah, so he's a true dust ball. And if you can, just enlighten me on a Nicole Lewis.
Okay, Nicole Lewis is a therapist, and she put out a post, and it gained traction, I guess on Black Twitter more so than anything. And she was saying basically, that she wasn't going to see men as clients. So people was like, okay, well, fine. She's a Black woman, so people saying that most of her clients are Black anyway. So if you're not seeing men, then that means you're not seeing Black men. But I guess after they started doing some digging into her posts and stuff like that, she had one post in particular from last year where she was saying that Black women need protection, and they needed protection from Black men as well too. So that kind of just went ahead and got everything into a frenzy. So she also had a post.
So she's not the Black woman that went viral on TikTok saying.
This is a different one. Yeah, this is
okay. So, and this is what I'm saying. So she sounds like that Black girl.
Yeah.
Who got fired? I think it was towards the end of last year, saying the same thing. So what do we have? A copycat of Black women therapists trying to throw Black men under the bus? It
looks that way, and because then she also had a post as well too. She was saying that her clients were Black women and non-binary. She like, but you had so many Black men and white women trying to become her clients and stuff like that. And she's basically like, why are you trying to become my clients? And really condescending and everything. And my thing is this here, Dana, like, if you only want to have Black women, or you want to only have a particular type of clientele, then that's your prerogative. Go ahead and do that. Do like so many other dentists and doctors do. They say, what, we're not currently accepting any new patients. But don't get on social media and start talking, well, I don't do men and this and that. And then you got negative comments about Black men in the past and stuff like that. And then act like everything is going to be everything. Because I myself, I was like, well, I was trying to find out a little bit more about it because I've heard about it the past couple of days. So I'm like, well, let me see exactly what they're talking about. I was like, because, people were saying that she had an issue with Black men and they were saying she had an issue with men in general. I'm like, well, I didn't hear her say anything about Black men. And it wasn't until I saw the actual post from last year, March, where she was talking about Black women needed protection and they needed protection from Black men. And then I saw the other post where she was talking about, having Black women as clients and non-binaries, but that basically you got a bunch of whites and a bunch of Black men trying to become her clients. So it's like, yo, like, do you have a serious?
She works for herself, or I wonder if she works for herself or work for a corporation or something or organization, because she should definitely be let go or
now I don't know if she has her own practice, so that would be interesting because I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I mean, I just, I'm starting to call it the Deborah Lee effect to a certain degree because
not Deborah Lee. Yeah, I heard that thing about Bob Johnson. Now check this out. Now Deborah, you sitting up here and you talking about what Bob Johnson did, but both of y'all were cheating on your spouse. So what are you talking about?
Well, it wasn't even the cheating on the spouses. Like, I don't have an issue with that. It's more so this man put you in a high position. And then when he left the company, of course, the board had to vote her in as CEO, but I'm pretty sure he had some persuasion with that. So all of a sudden now, all those years y'all were together, all the perks and climbing a corporate ladder he helped assist you with, you come out with this memoir, and in order to make you not look like a home wrecker or whatever, you want to say, oh, he sexually assaulted me, so that people could just bypass that you was just sneaking around sleeping with your boss to get to the top.
But that's what I'm talking about right there, Deborah. Like, I'm sorry, Dana. Here's the thing, like, she did come up and she got a good position and this and that or whatever, and whether he held something over her head, I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. But the thing is this right here, like, don't come and make yourself a victim too, like, because you are a willing accomplice in this relationship. He was married and you were married. So knock it off.
I mean, and then she got a divorce. He got a divorce, and they were still together. And she said it became public. People knew. So, and it's not the relationship; it's the fact that if you were a willing participant, this man didn't come out and say the bad things that you did in a relationship, and I'm pretty sure that you did. But men can't say that because then they're going to look crazy and they're not going to be believed. But why is it that Black women are throwing Black men under the bus for their conveniency to sell a book, to make money, to get likes, to get followers? That is a problem. And that's why I call it the Deborah Lee effect. Not that she slept with a man that was married, she was married. Who cares? That happens all the time. But you slept your way to the top. At least you picked the creme de la creme, honey. But now you want to degrade this man by saying he sexually assaulted you. I have a problem with that. And you're doing it for profit to sell your book. So that's an ultimate, not just a betrayal to him, but that's a betrayal to your race. So, yeah.
Well, I definitely agree with you on that as well too. And like I said, I had an issue for the way she, like how she framed it, and like I said too, also, I'm sorry, but you're married and he's married and y'all both running around. You don't get the sympathy card. So I'm sorry if you felt that way, that he was doing this. It was something improper. You could have filed a lawsuit back in the day or whatever, but you didn't. You stayed with this man. You was with this man. You rose through the ranks with him, and all of a sudden now, and that's the issue with a lot of people. And it's just not even women. It's a bunch of men too. You got a bunch of men sitting up here talking about crap from 30 years ago and stuff like that, so they can write a book and this and that. Even Smokey Robinson coming out talking about, and y'all, look, I'm not gonna get off topic here, y'all, but Smokey Robinson, like, goddamn 80 years old, sitting up here talking about he had an affair with Diana Ross. Like, who gives a damn? Like, come on, I thought y'all was supposed to be friends. Y'all was back on Motown. Like, who gives a damn? Like, everybody's like trying to write a little crappy book and try. I mean, you already like a superstar. You already
everybody back then had Diana Ross.
I mean, really, who gives a damn? Like, come on, man. You supposed to be like, this is supposed to be your girl. Let this go, man. You 80 years old, or damn near 80 years old. Diana about 75, 77. Come on, man, please. We got more things. You trying to make, and it's whenever you're trying to further your career, make a comeback, do a tour or something like that. Oh, let me drop off. Who cares? Okay, who gives a damn? Let me give a shout out real quick too as well to my man 400. Thank you for your contribution on Cash App. I gotta say it, and I gotta say it again. I'm gonna get my brother Maku real quick. Up in the Jumbotron, y'all, is the actual Newstoter YouTube channel, as well as the actual newsletter. Yesterday we was able to get like 7 people to sign up, 6-7 people to sign up on the YouTube channel. Take a second right now while we have this moment and go over to the YouTube channel. It's up in the Jumbotron, and go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, guys. Go ahead and subscribe. It won't take you but a hot second to go ahead and subscribe. You can still listen to what we're saying right here. You ain't got to get off of the app. Just go over to the YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe to the actual YouTube channel, Newstoter. We would definitely appreciate it. When you get a chance, also subscribe to the newsletter as well, too. And for those that can, support us on Cash App. That is $Newstoter. $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, largest Black American-owned news curation today in America. We are the largest Black American media news curation platform today in America. Everything from news, education, lifestyle, culture, entertainment, sports. We pretty much handling it all, people. So if you do support Black content, if you do support Black-owned business, if you do support Black business that supports other Black business, that promotes other Black business for free, think about supporting Newstoter.com. Once again, that is $Newstoter. I repeat that, $Newstoter. If you do not have a Cash App, the Venmo and PayPal is up in the Jumbotron as well, too. Any amount that you can contribute will be greatly appreciated. Same for my folks on YouTube. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and like and share the actual program tonight. Subscribe for those that might be on there. And if you want to support us, you can go to the description. You'll see the Cash App, the Venmo, and the PayPal as well, too. Let me go ahead and kick it to Brother Maku. Then I'm going to touch up on this Silicon Valley Bank thing. We got to touch up on that as well, too. So, Brother Maku, how you doing tonight?
How you doing, Tyler? What's up to everybody in the firm? Kai, Trouble, Dana, Black Native, Leon, what's going on, y'all? I'm going to comment on Nicole Lewis. Every time I see a Black woman like this, I always have to question to myself, like, wow, I wonder what her father thinks. For women and men that I see that down and degrade individuals that look like them, I always think of their relationships with their parents. You know what I'm saying? Particularly black women. When I see a black woman with a white man, and vice versa, when I see a black man with a white woman, I always think like, damn, that's real disrespectful to your fucking parents. You know what I'm saying? Being that this is our generational enemy. So to move on to Charleston White, you know, he's a victim like me. He said what he said. The only problem that I have with what he said is the part. I really the whole thing was hard to listen to. We listened to it in DJ Space, and a few people actually left the room because he was just so ignorant. But the only personal thing that I have an issue with what he said is how he put my children in jeopardy. Not just my children, but all of our children. When he up there talking about, yeah, I'm putting it in young children's head. Go rob that Chinese lady. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you putting a target on my fucking child back. I got an 11-year-old. That motherfucker look like a grown man. And when he walk in the store, just because of what the fuck you said, you know what I'm saying, he's going to be a target. And that's for all of our children. You know, I think that was a real dumb fucking thing for him to do. He should have thought about not just our children, but his children as well. Because he can't be everywhere his children is. I mean, you know, at some point in time, his children probably act like the rest of these children out here that walk up in these motherfucking chain stores calling these women mommy. But you setting them up because you telling these motherfuckers that you planting this in these young children's ears. So you putting them, making them get on code against our children. And I take that person. I take that real fucking person. So Charleston White, I got a fucking problem with you. Put my child in the crossfire. And I hope that word get back to him. I mean, you know. And hate crime report, anything coming from the DOJ or Biden him fucking self about a crime bill for us, I'm looking at this side. These motherfuckers always treat us greasy. They've been treating us greasy from day one. To think that they're going to put something in legislation that's going to protect us, the very people that they put in a position to harm, at this point, I don't think we need to ask no more. Matter of fact, I don't think we need to beg anymore for a hate crime bill. I think we need to start making examples. And I'll land there.
All right. Let me give a shout out real quick to Leon. Leon, I appreciate that. Thank you for your contribution on Cash App. We're going to go ahead real quick and touch up on this this last article real quick. The Silicon Valley Bank scandal that's been going on. And once again, another issue with the banking institution and banking economy over here in the United States, once again, sinking as well, too. So I want to touch up on that real quick, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and get that article, and then we're going to go ahead and touch up on that. And once again, like I say, once we go ahead and read on that, whatever you guys want to touch up on for the night, I don't care. We can go ahead. I just want to go ahead and get this out there for the actual room as well. So just give me 1 second. This is from Amalgam Nation. It says, anti-woke Silicon Valley power players beg U.S. government for taxpayer bailout after SV Bank collapse. And this is up in the Jumbotron as well, too, guys. Curator on the Newstoter.com platform. It says the collapse of the Silicon Valley Bank was the second biggest bank collapse in U.S. history, and it happened in just 48 hours. Now notoriously anti-woke Silicon Valley power players have asked the government for a taxpayer bailout. The receivership of the Washington Mutual Bank by federal regulators on September 26, 2008 was the largest bank failure in U.S. history. SVB's downfall began on March 8th when it seemingly out of the blue informed investors that it needed to raise $2.25 billion to shore up its balance sheet. Y'all give me 1 second, because like I said, I'm on the actual site. Almost immediately, tech and finance power players began calling for the federal government to push another bank to take over the failed SVB to protect uninsured deposits. Some observers called out the irony of the venture capital community calling for government aid after many VCS spurred their portfolio companies to withdraw money after SVB released a surprise statement about its financial situation, CNBC reported. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation has ensured depositors would have access to their accounts, but before that, their investors found themselves in a tailspin of troubleshooting how they'd make payroll and access operational cash without the ability to tap their funds. Cheryl Dorsey wrote in The Plug, who noted the number of Black founders who might be affected by the bank's collapse. Our eyes on how SVB's failure will mean a drop in support for Black tech ecosystem at large, as the bank helped to fund several initiatives, including the State of Black Venture report, spearheaded by BLKVC, numerous accelerator programs and competitions, Black founder brunches at Basel, and much, much more. The presence of SVB in support of the Black innovation will sorely be missed, Dorsey noted. Meanwhile, Y Combinator's Gary Tan was one of those who called for the government involvement and noted the broader ramifications. Y Combinator is a technology startup accelerator. Regulators need to step in to do a backstop of depositories, not a bailout of a bank, he tweeted, adding along 40,000 SVB depository small businesses, 30% will fail to make payroll in the next 30 days. Estimate 10 employees each, 120,000 jobs on the line, years of innovation on the line. SVB operated 13 branches in California and Massachusetts and had about $209 billion in total assets and about $175.4 billion in deposits as of the end of 2022, Market Watch reported. The financial world does not have the capability to save these companies like we will just wholesale throw out startup innovation in America if we allow these companies to die in the next weeks. And it's really a matter of next week, Tan also reported, also tweeted as per Mark Watch. He continued with the FDIC really does need to do is take into account these people. These are the small guys. If we damage them, it hurts us all, Tan said. This is a national security issue. This will splash across all of the economy. The irony, some also noted, was the anti-woke Silicon Valley bigwigs are seeking government help. According to a submission to the Urban Dictionary, anti-woke means socially retarded, willfully ignorant to other people's situations. 0 F's given to how your behavior affects others. Politically regressive, leaning away from policies and society. Silicon Valley, it seems, is filled with anti-woke sentiment. Take tech investors David Sachs. He is a general partner of Craft Ventures, a venture capital fund he co-founded in late 2017. Sachs was a founding COO and product leader of PayPal. Sachs once wrote that date rape was belated regret. And during a rash of anti-Asian violence in 2021, he called for more 3 strikes law persecutions. A book called The Diversity Myth, Multiculturalism and Political Intolerance on Campus, co-written with billionaire tech entrepreneur Peter Thiel. The pair criticized multiculturalism at Stanford University, where both attended, and brushed off rape. But since a multicultural rape charge may indicate nothing more than belated regret, a woman might realize that she had been raped the next day or even many days later. Why is all the blame placed on men? Sachs and Thiel wrote. Years later, Sachs said he regretted those statements. Despite being part of the anti-woke movement, there are those tech heavyweights who take advantage of the government tax breaks and often seek assistance from government insiders to expand their personal wealth. Silicon Valley's 1%ers have long flocked to tax loopholes to try to keep the IRS out of their lives. Theodore Schlaffer reported for Vox in 2018, when you're as rich as Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos, you have legions of highly paid lawyers and advisors who specialize in taking advantage of every subsection of the tax code to keep your billions your billions. Fast forward to March 2023, and it was found that SVB used 2 former senior aides to House Speaker Kevin McCarthy to weaken regulations and to lobby the FDIC, The Intercept reported. Before its collapse, the president of SVB, Greg Becker, pushed for weaker banking regulations, urged Congress to lift enhanced prudential standards given the low-risk profile of our activities, the Lever reported. All righty. So the banking industry, like any other industry, especially the banking industry, wants as little, if any, people checking up on them. They don't want any transparency. Man, you just bail these people back out. In 2008, we bailed out the banking industry. We bailed out the auto industry. What other industry? Wasn't it another industry we bailed out? Was it the airline industry as well? We bailed out as well too. I know it was a
I
banking.
think it was General Motors.
General Motors, yeah. So it was a banking. It was General Motors. I don't know why I wanted to say the airline industry as well too, but taxpayer money going left and right. Silicon Valley. These are the people that the top 1%ers in the world. So they want as little head wave, and they want to make sure they keep those tax incentives and everything else too. So like you said, a lot of times, and you heard in Biden, whether you like him or not, he did make a point that some of the richest people in the world are paying, in terms of the actual percent of what they're making, they're paying almost nothing in taxes. So I guess when you got 20, 30 lawyers and accountants and stuff like that, you can get away with pretty much highway murder, which they pretty much do anyway. So unfortunately, this is going to have an impact, and it always has an impact on Black people as well too. A lot of startup companies, Black tech, something that we definitely need to go ahead and get rolling. Who knows what kind of real impact that's going to have, and how it's going to really knock Black entrepreneurs back as well too. So even if they do, and they are getting the bailout, of course, they're going to get the bailout, but when they get the bailout, how is that going to be beneficial to Black Americans in this country as well too? So that's something that we always have to remember. We just wanted to go ahead and get that article out, guys. And if you want to touch up on that or any of the articles tonight, please feel free. Like I said, we've covered Nicole Lewis. We've covered Charleston White. We've covered the hate crime report that just came out with the data from 2021. And we just had to unfortunately cover another major banking crisis. And this is 2008. So we're talking about 15 years later. And once again, the banking industry is showing its ass and about to fall again once again. So Leon, go ahead and unmute your mic.
All right, thanks again. All right, now I'm gonna be the most hated person in this room right now because of what I'm going to say about this SVB. We'll take one point. When we saw the picture of all the people who was coming to get their money, did you see any Black faces? I damn sure didn't. All I saw was a lot of Asian and white faces. They come get their money. One. Now I heard your article, Newstoter, about this Black venture capitalist guy, whatever. Well, I'm going to say like this: why your Black ass ain't put your money in a Black bank? First of all, why you gotta roll with them crackers and the Asians in that bank in Silicon Valley? There's other banks you can put your money in to be a venture capitalist. Stop being what's the word? Trying to play on their level, because you know you're not going to be on their level, but they're not going to let you. That's first and foremost. So like I said, I'm probably going to get hated, but I don't really give a fuck. I'm tired of these suckers getting bailed out. Most of these venture capitalists, they're mostly hedge fund owners. These are billionaires upon billionaires. They ain't got nothing else better to do with their money. They want to start their little apps. They want to start their little games or game companies, this, that, and the third, or maybe some other small company that might want to try to do a cell phone or something like that. Now, will SVB hurt me? Hell no, because I ain't got no stocks or anything to deal with them, nor do I care. Last time I checked, I still got my money in my bank account, so they're not affecting me. I did see that a couple of tech companies like Facebook are supposed to be laying off 10,000 people by the end of the week. I guess Zuckerberg must have got his money up in there, so beat that. And then I saw I guess there was a tweet not so long ago that Elon Musk said, "Oh, I'll buy SB Bank," because let's be honest, that's not his money. That's government subsidies money, our money. So here we go. We got we got Elon Musk that wants to want to venture off into the banking industry now instead of social media and cars and what have you. All right, I'm done rambling. I said what I had to say. I'll land.
Just by a show of hands in here, how many people think that they should actually let SVB just sank, just pretty much let him. Leon, I know you say like, hey, why bail him out? And thank you, Mel, because Mel also, I thought it was the airlines as well too. I knew it was because I knew it was a banking, I knew it was an auto, and I knew it was airlines. She put airlines as well too, so I knew airlines had to be bailed out as well too. But just by a show of hands in here, give me a heart sign, anything. If you guys think that they should actually let SVB collapse and just go ahead and go under. I mean, that was a big thing with the auto industry last time. Everybody was like, we can't do it. We can't let them go. It's gonna destroy the economy if we do this. We're doomed to hell. We're doomed to hell. We got to go ahead and we got to bail them out. So everybody, with that scare tactic, even back then, 2008, I'm like, hey, shit. If it's gonna come to that, go ahead and give them the money. I mean, that means the economy is gonna this and that, and we gonna be going to almost be a third world country. Yeah, go ahead and bail them out. Go ahead and give them that money, and we'll make it up on the back end. But like you say, Leon, and I don't know, I can't say about, the venture capital, because that's something I'm not. I should have actually hollered at my nephew because he's in the finances, and he would have been a good person to have in this space tonight and got his opinion, because that was his degrees in financing and all the other stuff. So he would have been an actual expert to get in here. So I wish I had thought about that beforehand and I could have got him up into space. But I really don't know. Like I said, I know they were talking about the black tech and that world and this and that or whatever. But like you said, I'm sure there was other avenues that they could have went and tried to work with. But maybe they felt that was, sometimes we think that's a big show in town and that's what we got to go through to really get put on. And so I don't know. You heard the article and how it framed it as well too. So I don't know, to be honest. I just know this right here, that we pour money into these actual industries and it really never seems to benefit us whatsoever. Well, it never does benefit. It's not really, but it never benefits us one iota if we're going to be honest about it. So Black Native, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, I don't think we should bail out these big wigs of Silicon Valley. I saw a cartoon, and I don't know if y'all saw it. It's on Twitter, The Simpsons, and it was showing how the bank in Silicon Valley collapsed. And I don't know how long ago that was made, but for some reason, The Simpsons be on point with a lot of the things that like, I don't know, that they got somebody that's reading the future or what's going on with that cartoon. But it was also another bank. I put it in the comments in New York. Signature Bank went under too. And with that bank deals with the rental properties for low income. It says Signature Bank was a big lender to apartment owners, especially of rent regulated buildings. And so, this is going to be a problem for people that live in New York who might be under the grandfather clause where their rent is regulated. These were the lenders to the owners of those buildings. I never heard of the bank before, but they went under. So no, we don't need to bail out any more of these banks. We don't need to give them not one red cent. But Leon was speaking on, I was watching Jason Black, and he did he had a program speaking on Elon Musk and how Elon Musk got damn near close to, I'm going to say, 60 billion in grants, taxpayer dollars, to help Tesla, to help that the thing that he had when the rocket ship going to Mars, from NASA, from all these different government agencies, just giving this man money over fist. He didn't pull himself up out of his bootstraps. Neither did Mark Zuckerberg. Neither did Jeff Bezos. All of these people got grants, tax-free money. They don't have to pay it back. Free money, grants, taxpayers' dollars for them to start their ventures. So look, none of them get money until we get our reparations. How about that? Because they're just going to use that as an excuse. But we had to bail out these banks, so you black people, y'all have to wait another 20 more years. No, let them fall. In Silicon Valley, isn't that where all the techs, like Google and all these different tech agencies, that's what they're famous for. These people are rich as fuck. They'll be okay. They'll be all right. They ain't struggling. No, we don't need them to bail out near one person, because in 2008, I lost my house. They didn't bail out the people who got subprime lending. They didn't help us out when we was losing our homes in 2008. They bailed out the banks, they bailed out the automobiles, and they bailed out the airplanes. Like you said, they didn't bail out the people who were losing their homes. They didn't come up with nothing until maybe 2011, 2012. It was too late by then. So yeah, let them sink and fall. They'll be okay.
Yeah, like you say, Black Native, by the time they start to do something for just the average Joe Smo, the damage had already been done. And I'm trying to figure out, like, how do these people, how do they come up with all of this money right here? But then people, if they sit up here and talk about having child tax credits and giving people additional money or something like that, or any kind of relief or something like that, everybody's crying and whining, talking about we can't afford it. You're gonna raise the debt in the country and this and that. If they was talking about giving everybody in this space a measly extra $500 a month, you would have people just sitting up here crying and whining and talking about how we can't afford to do this, and it's gonna hurt future generations. It's gonna cripple, but we can go ahead and pour billions, trillions of dollars into the same failed, tired systems all the time. So I'm with you on that, Black Native. Like I say, with anything, we know whenever the economy crashes, unfortunately, our people are always going to be at the bottom. That's just the way it's set up. When you had the Great Depression, the country was in a mess, but Black people, they suffered even more than everybody else too, because that's just the way that, unfortunately, that's the way it is. Whenever you have recessions or anything like that, Black folks always tend to suffer the worst because you're already at the bottom. So if you're at the bottom, yeah, you can go further south. So I'm with you on that. They all of these loans, these subprime loans you're talking about, that they knew goodness well, they went in there and they manipulated. They didn't have these fixed rates, anything. These things was adjustable. One month, people sitting up here, they paying $700-800 for the mortgage. Next thing you know, they paying $2,000 and something like that. Just, I mean, with a point where they,
with me.
yeah,
That's exactly what happened with me.
yeah. Well, people,
I can tell you what happened. I can go into detail.
Go ahead.
When I got my house.
Go ahead.
When I got my house, I bought my house in 2005, and we thought it was a fixed rate mortgage. It wasn't. My mortgage was, I think my interest was like at 5% at the time. My mortgage was $600. By 2007, close to 2008, it went from $600 to $1,800 a month. It tripled. We didn't have a fixed mortgage, and that's what we thought. It was subprime lending, and the bank that we got our mortgage loan through, it was a class action lawsuit. So we got some money, but it wasn't a lot. But it was so many people suing this bank. I don't even think they're in existence anymore. But that's exactly what happened. Our mortgage was like $600. We went to $1,800 in a matter of 2 years. And that's how we lost the house. Everything started doubling. It was foreclosure signs everywhere. So yeah, they didn't help us. We thought Obama was going to come in and save the day. Nope, it didn't happen like that. I think they didn't start doing anything until 2011 or 2012. They started trying to help people who were trying to still hold on to their homes, but it was too late. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Sorry for interrupting. I'm going to go ahead and listen in.
No, you good. And I'm glad you gave that example as well too. So thank you. And I know that had to be painful as well too. You finally, and you get what's supposed to be the American dream, and when you get that, then it becomes almost a nightmare. There's no way you can make the payments, and so that happened to millions of people in this country, and they deliberately targeted Black people as well too. So I mean. That's something else that they can sit in and lie about, but they deliberately targeted Black people as well with that nonsense. Trouble, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, I just kind of lost my train of thought, but Black Native pretty much hit where I was going. I don't really too much care about the SVB banking situation. I would just hope that, the couple of banks where I got my money at, if something happened to them, y'all come and bail my Black ass out and give me my money back too. But we already know that that's not necessarily going to happen. I just think this is a perfect example of how they never have money for Black Americans. They don't have our reparations money. There's always an excuse about where's the money going to come from. How are we going to get it? Oh, we can't use taxpayers' dollars to fund these reparations. reparations. That's the general conversation. But every time you turn around, they got money for everything else. You got money for all of these bailouts. You got money for Ukraine. You got money for every single entity, every single other group, but never have the money to say, hey, black people, we know we owe you. We know we owe you. We're going to put these set-asides here for you because we can pull some money out the crack of our ass like we do for everything else. You'll never see that. Even when we get to the point to where we say, okay, if it gets approved, they're still going to be trying to figure out, well, where we're going to get this money from. Well, get it from the same place you got all the bailout money from. Get it from the same place you got all the Ukrainian money from, all of the Afghanistan, all the Libyan money, all of the money where, you know, the Israeli money, because Lord knows we sending a lot of money overseas to different places to fund different things, but we won't send the money here to take care of our own Black American citizens who are owed a debt. We're not asking for any regular bailout or any regular handout. We're asking you to settle a debt that's owed. So I just think that's funny, and that's why I don't care about the SVB situation. But baby, if Navy Federal go down, I want my money back, and I want it back just as fast as you gave them SVB people their money back.
Real talk. Dana, go ahead. Unmute your mic.
Yeah, and soon I gotta get up out of here to start my space, but I just wanted to add on to the main thing when Black Native mentioned about the grants. I would say what people like Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, those type of people, and anyone else, other from other groups, what they do is they know how to work the system for their advantage. And I would say that is what specifically Black people in general is lacking. Whether it's on a low, medium, or high level of working the system, you have to know how to work the system to your advantage. There are a lot of grants. I actually paid to take this grant course where, you know, they walked me step by step on how to get grants and get it approved. There are thousands upon thousands of grants out there. You don't have to have good credit. You don't have to have, you know, a long, extensive financial resume. You just need to have, you know, a business plan, you know, and just proper paperwork put together. But so my point is, there's no excuse on why we cannot participate in this system and use it to our advantage, just like everybody else does. Now, Elon Musk, yeah, he came from a wealthy family, generational wealth. Mark Zuckerberg, he came from a well-to-do family as well. But even if you don't, there are a lot of opportunities we could take advantage of, especially with the federal and state government. But it's about understanding how this system works and how can I participate and use it to my advantage. That's where we need to be thinking and headed towards, because all these people that got bailed out, they know how to work this system, which is why they got bailed out. We don't. So, and I'm telling you, there are a lot of grants, millions of dollars of grants specifically for, they name it minority. And as far as the reparations, yeah, part of our reparations is to demand that we do get grants specifically just for us. But there are millions and millions, damn near billions of dollars of grants out there for every group of person for us to take advantage of. But it's all about, do you know how to work this system to your advantage? And we don't. And I'll land there.
Yeah, you're right, Dana. Because we haven't really been trained. So you're right. So I mean, in terms of grants and stuff like that, and you're right. There's people that know how to write grants and everything else like that. So that's something that's really beneficial to the people. If you can take a grant writing course, or you can learn how to write grants and stuff like that, and like you say, have your paperwork and things of that nature. Do you personally, real quick before you leave, I know you got to go, and I'm not going to keep the space open too much longer. So hopefully we can get some of our people to go to your space. But do you personally know anybody, Dana, to your knowledge, that actually went the grant route and was able to actually go ahead and get some grants to start a business up?
Yeah, I went through 10K project. It's called the 10K project. I'll send it to you. You could like tweet it out. And it wasn't expensive. It was like $300, 6-week course. And she basically tell you step by step. Is you hire a grant writer, have this, have that, it's just things you need to have in building a team. It's building, you have to build a team, right? So, but they walk you through everything. And she was telling us why so many grant applications get denied, because people are not, filling it out properly. You have to really have a professional help you with that. So it was very, very informative, and it takes work. And, honestly, it's not about, no, the government don't know that they owe us anything. It's not about, and I'm tired of the people saying that, well, they owe us this, they have to give us. They don't have to give us nothing. Only time they're going to give you something is if you demand it, but you got to know what are you demanding and how are you going to demand it, which goes to knowing the system and how it works. Whether they know it or not, that ain't the point. They're not going to do anything if you do not demand it, and it's a certain way you have to demand to get it. So these groups of the Mark Zuckerbergs, the Elon Musk, or anybody else that's these hedge fund people getting all these grants, they have a team of people, that work on whatever grants. And one of the things to getting a grant is a lot of times you have to have a LLC, like a business register and the docket number or whatever. But you hire a lawyer really don't get paid until you get the grant. So it's not about, again, you don't have to have money up front. And this is the thing to where people think Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk had all this money up front. No, a lot of people that they had on retainer got paid after they got those grants, because that's where their money was coming from, out of the grants. So it's, so I think we think that, I think Black people, we think that we need to have all this stuff, and we really don't. We just need to know how the system works, and trust me, and we need to learn how to work together and build a team, to get these things. So they're not going to give you anything, and we shouldn't wait. We should just go and get it because it's there.
All right. Thank you, Dana. That's pretty insightful right there. And DJ, he tweeted that out, and I retweeted that link as well too. So that's definitely definitely. And the one you were talking about, the 10K, that's a grant for what, $10,000?
No, I'm too tired to explain it. But
Okay.
It's a 10K project.
No, hey, don't worry about it. Just
And it's more like it's for people who, like, what is that thing with the when the people come and they pitch their business to the people?
I know what you're talking about. Like
Yeah,
Shark Tank.
yeah.
Venture capitalist.
It's like Shark Tank, but it's for Black businesses that pitch their business to investors, and you can sign up to be an investor. But they also have other programs, that you could buy, whether it's learning, grants for affordable housing, grants for student housing. So they have other things there. So just go to the website and read the website, the about section and everything, and it explains it all.
okay. Well, thank you, Dana. I appreciate that. I know you got to get ready to run for your space as well too.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. We're gonna get ready to close this out too. So you guys can go ahead and check Dana's space out. She's about to start it at 10 o'clock. We're gonna go ahead and shut it down for the night. Thank everybody who came out. We appreciate you guys. We've been going for a couple hours, so we'll go ahead and
You not gonna let me speak?
well, I didn't know you wanted to speak, Judge. You got to raise your hand. So.
You approved me. Somebody approved me.
Yeah, I approved you, but I approve a lot of people. They don't always speak though.
You know I got something to say. Can I speak?
Go ahead real quick.
It's always for here to give information, and hopefully it's appreciated. And what I came to speak about is that someone was saying something about reparation. First of all, to the room, I really encourage you to get educated, to get an education. There are Black people in this country doing really big things. What she talked about with grant writing, Black people, you hire somebody and you get a grant. There's Black people out here with businesses and they are thriving. What I want to speak about is reparations. Okay. I was kind of leery about California, but the more I look into it, the more it looks like she's going to probably approve it. And so what concerns me is I heard someone say, where's the money going to come from? Okay. When California does approve reparations, I need you people to understand this. They're giving the money to Black people who are residents of the state of California. The money's not going anywhere. The money's going to be in California. How the economy is gauged is on home sales, car sales, and GDP. When they do give money in California in the forms of reparations, it's going to skyrocket it. Just like the cannabis industry, as goes California, as goes the rest of the country. He is going to approve reparations, and the economy is going to boom, and he is going to be a hero. My concern is not the money. My concern is the legal and the law aspect of the repair. They can throw $1 million at you. That's not going to stop the oppression. Anyway, Newstoter, I appreciate you. I was listening. I just want y'all to know that because someone was saying where the money comes from. And these are the things that they put out. Like Fox News put something out about California having issues with money. And, I'm sorry, I get angry because I'm tired of being last, and I want us to be first. And I know we're supposed to be. Once we get the proper education, we will. When they give reparations to California, it's not going to hurt California's economy. It's going to help it. Imagine giving 2 million Black people, that's like $500,000. Can you just imagine what's going to happen? What's going to happen with retail sales? What's going to happen with home sales? What's going to happen with car sales? All that is taxed. The reason why COVID and they came up with this vaccine, that wasn't to help you. That was to get you back to work, to get you off of unemployment and get the economy booming. That's what the whole COVID vaccine was for, so they can get their tax money. So reparations is not harming the government financially. It's going to help the government. And I'll land there. I appreciate you, Minnesota.
All right, thank you. I guess we'll get a couple quick hands up in here real quick. We're gonna go to Trouble, then we'll go to 400. Go ahead, Trouble.
All right, just wanted to say real quick. Yeah, I agree that we should definitely look into the grant writing things and see what can apply to ourselves and what we can do with that. Get some people to, do the damn thing with that. Also, like to rebut something that was said that about reparations. Reparations is a debt that is owed, and the government knows they owe us. And I don't give a damn who cares about me saying that. I'm tired of people that come and say, well, it's not owed and the government doesn't know who owes. That's a goddamn lie. It's a goddamn lie. It's a goddamn lie. So I'm going to land my plane on that. And if you all could please go to reparations2023.com. I truly appreciate it. There's also on Eventbrite. You can find reparations2023.com on Eventbrite, where you could sign up and do all kind of other cool things and keep up with the updates and everything of that nature. Y'all have a good night.
All right, thank you, Trouble. Let's go to 400, and I guess I get to you, Black Native, and you guys will be the last speakers for the night. Go ahead, 400.
Yeah, yes, sir. I had sent you a text saying about the brother Roy. I don't know the brother, but I appreciate what he did. I would love to hear this brother speak if we got a little time. And I just land right there. I love what he did. I watched it on YouTube, so that brother there, I salute you. I'll land now.
All right, thank you, 400. Black Native, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, and I just want to speak about the government grants. I've been looking into the government grants, me and my daughter. You can literally get a contract just for supplying spoons to like the military or toothpaste. So yeah, the grants are out there, but I'm not gonna act like we got people that we can hire in the background. Most of us don't have that type of money to do those things. So what I would say is just learn it for yourself. It's probably not that hard if you just go ahead and just, read it for yourself, and you probably could write your own, proposal to the government if you just read how to do it. So I really don't think it's that hard. And yeah, they do owe us reparations. They're not getting out of it. I don't want to hear nothing about nobody talking about they don't owe us shit. No, they owe us money. So we're not going to keep playing them games. And that's all I want to say. Peace to the room and have a good night.
All right, appreciate that. And you're right. I mean, I definitely, and grants, that's definitely something to look into. I don't know much about it, but I've heard, that people that they have grants, and normally you do have to have a grant writer because, like she was saying, a lot of us we don't know how to write it, so you need to go ahead and take a course at least or something. Everything in this country, it takes money to make money. So if you are going to look into going the grant route, then you are going to have some kind of team. You're going to at least have to have a grant writer, somebody to actually, learn from and actually go ahead and do it as well too. So I would definitely go ahead and say that part as well too, because, we just can't go up there and you've never dealt with grants before. I think you're just going to go in there and go to our office and get grants that way. So you definitely need to have some kind of training in terms of that. But I'm with you in Black Native in Trouble. I agree with what you said too. Like, the grants is, that's something. The grants don't have anything to do with reparations whatsoever, but that is a business thing that you can go ahead and try to find something that you may be doing and something that you're interested in doing and something you think that you could do well and try to go that avenue, that route as well too. So I would definitely say that's something too that we need to start looking together as a group possibly as well too. So if it is expensive for an individual and stuff, that's where maybe forming an LLC with like-minded people and stuff like that, and taking finances and as she was saying, maybe you come together, you get your lawyer, you get your grant writer, you form an LLC, you have a plan, you guys come together as your own think tank, and you go that route as well too. So that's something to definitely look forward into as well too, guys. So I'm not going to hold anybody up because, like I said, we were going to close the space out, so we'll be back tomorrow night, guys. I appreciate everybody that came in the space as well too. I don't know, Rory. And I know 400. You were saying something about Rory, but I don't know if Rory wants to speak or not. But if not, then he's always welcome to come to the next space or whatever and speak or whatever. I don't really put people on the spot. Only if people want to come up and speak, do we go ahead and approve them? Unless they request to speak, I don't really too much try to put him on the spot like that. So I see he's requesting to speak as well. So we'll go ahead and let him get it in, and he will be the last speaker for the night. Rory, how you doing tonight? You're a little bit low. Can you speak? Bring your volume up some. Yeah, I can't. It's kind of hard to make out what you're saying because your volume is like really, really low. I'm just trying to see if you could possibly turn your volume up because it's really low.
Yeah, my bad. And I got him confused. My bad. I thought it was the other gentleman.
Oh, okay. Okay, but no problem. No problem. That's fine. Sometimes mistakes happen, so no big deal. Well, on that note, guys, we'll go ahead and we'll close the space out. I know Dana, she has a space going, so if you guys want to go over there and check her out, I would definitely say go ahead and check the sister out, see what's going on over there. I'm not exactly sure if Judge Joe Brown's going to be in the house tonight over there, but, go ahead and give the sister a shout out. She always comes when she has time to come over here and support the spaces as well, too. So you guys, I'll see you tomorrow night. Y'all take care. Have a good night. Thank you to the speakers. We really couldn't get our co-host thing going with Ray because I know Ray was having some issues. So thank you to the speakers, the listeners. Thank you to those that donated on Cash App as well, too. Anybody wants to donate again, that's $ Newstoter. We'll be back tomorrow night, guys. So definitely check us out, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see you guys then. Thank you.